Welcome to the workshop of Eric Franklin.
There's sort of a set of rules around like what you can and can't do with glass, so you're always kind of pushing against those parameters.
Eric is an artist. His subject is the human body, and he sculpts it with fragile glass tubes. But it's what goes inside that makes his artwork so incredible.
On one level, I'm more interested in using the glass as this like container for light in space. So using clear glass tubing lets me manipulate where that light goes. So, the glass is only half of it and the light is the other half.
Filled with noble gases like neon, krypton, argon, and xenon, Eric's life-size body forms flicker and glow like sculpted laser beams.
I feel like the light just kind of adds that little bit of extra life into the pieces themselves. And then, the sort of interactive quality that you get by getting close to the pieces with your body's electromagnetic field kind of interacting with the piece itself and manipulating the light. I find that adds just this kind of another level of connecting with the pieces.
As you can probably imagine, working with glass requires incredibly steady hands.
Had a few casualties, but nothing too bad.
Today, Eric's working on his second full skeleton. The first one took him over 1,000 hours to complete. This arm alone, 3 full days.
Well, the first thing I look for when I'm heating up the glass, if I put a cool flame on it, get some black soot to stick. And then as I heat it up, that black soot will release at the annealing temperature, which is 1050 Fahrenheit. And that means the glass is kind of relaxing and it's done expanding. There's a lot of patience involved in letting the glass take enough time to heat up and cool down. That can cause problems with cracking.
To add a new piece, Eric heats a tiny area until it's glowing orange. Then, he blows air in, causing the heated area to bubble and burst. Next, he preps the new piece of tubing.
Now I'm going to heat these two up, get them both really orange hot, and stick them together.
Getting two pieces to seal tightly together is one of the most crucial parts of Eric's work.
There's a small bubble in the seal that I just made, so I'm going to heat up that one little area and kind of pluck that glass out completely, and then smooth it back out. A little bubble like that can cause problems getting everything sealed down really tight later on when we're putting the neon in. Yeah, I think that's good.
With arm number 2 complete, Eric moves to a much larger body part, the torso. He finished this piece a few days ago. Now, it's almost ready to light up. But first, he needs to put the entire piece under a high vacuum and do one final check for leaks.
So what I'm doing is using this spark coil to skim a little electricity over all the joints. And if there happens to be a hole, we'll get a bright little yellow light where the hole is. Yeah, there's actually a small leak right there. You can see all the sparks kind of clump together and dive in the little hole. So now, luckily that's an easy spot to fix, so we'll get the torch and we'll just pull a little bit of that glass off and fix it really quick. It doesn't take much mixing of the air, just that we breathe, to contaminate the gas, and then they won't discharge the light.
There's just one thing left to do. Close the kiln and burn off any dust or water vapor trapped inside the tubes. Finally, Eric's big moment has arrived. He connects a wire to a small electrode embedded in the glass. Then, he lets the gas flow.
That moment when the gas gets introduced, it's a very exciting moment. I'd spend all these hours working on clear glass, and then there's that moment at the end where it really does just like come to life. All the color appears, just every time there's something new. So it's always fun to see what it's gonna look like.
There's still another 200 hours of work before the full skeleton will be complete. But for this artist, the little victories feel just as good.